Hey guys, welcome to the video today. Today we're going to be looking at C major chord variations. So how can you play the C major chord in different ways? I'm going to go through 5 or 6 examples. So I'm going to explain first of all what the structure of a chord is. Then I'm going to go through the first variation of a C chord, and we're going to work our way up to the last variation. Let's get started. The first thing we're going to talk about is a chord. So what is a chord? A chord in its simplest definition is a combination of notes from a scale. What's a scale? A scale is a series of notes that follow a specific pattern of intervals. Intervals are distance between notes. The most common form of a chord is a triad, right? So triad is a chord that's made up of 3 notes. Using the C major chord as an example, so the C major scale goes C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and back to C. So the C major chord in this scale would be the C, the E, and the G combination. In terms of music terminology, we would say the C would be the 1st degree, the E would be the 3rd degree, and the G would be the 5th degree, because that's their position in the C major scale. Let's take a look at how you would play the C major chord. So the first chord we're going to look at, C major chord, is going to be played like so. We have the C note on the A string. You can see here, have the C note on the A string. We have the E note on the D string. See here. We have the open G string. So to explain that, so we have the C, 1st degree of the C major scale. We have the E, the 3rd degree, open G, the 5th degree. And if you know the C major already, you know like on the B string you play the C again. So you're allowed to have repeating notes. And having extra notes that repeat adds more texture to the chord. And the last string is open string. That's an E. So play together. That's just C major chord. So you can see that's how it's played. So So what's the next variation of this chord? Well, we can play the low E string. That's your 6th string, all the way on the top. Because this is part of the C major scale, this note works, and because it's part of the C major chord, it also works in the C major chord. Now it's called a C/E because you have the E note as the lowest note. Played, it's gonna sound like this. So you can hear that low E string ringing out. Compared to having the E as the lowest note gives it a different sound profile. Now we can also put our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string to play the G note. The G is the 5th degree of the C major scale, part of the C major chord, so it also works. And you can put your pinky on where the C was played before, the 1st C. And now you have a chord shape like this. Now you have a G note as the lowest note, so this is a C/G chord. Still C major, just with a G as the lowest note, giving it a different sound profile again. Now we're going to look at a C chord with a C as the lowest note. And now we're going to change the highest note from an E to a G. And you can do that by putting your pinky on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. It's going to sound like this. compared to, I'm emphasizing the highest note so you can hear the difference. So now both of these chords are called C major chords. So there is no slash or something like that. It's just C chords, just a different sound profile. And depending on the song, or you can play variations. So if you played like 3 strums of that, you can then put on the 4th to just add a bit of like a change and variation and keep it more interesting when you play. So the last variation of C major chord we're going to look at is going to be the C major 7. Now this chord is different from the previous one. So it's not a triad, it's a chord of 4 notes. The last note is going to be the B. And to get that note, you just take off your index finger from the B string and you let the B ring out. Now the B is the 7th degree in the C major scale, so it works in this chord as well. So how do we play that? You have your ring finger and your middle finger, and you take off your index finger from the B string, so it's not on the C note anymore. You take it off and then the B rings out, and so you play that as such. It has a different sound profile, and this is a chord primarily used in jazz, but it's also in modern pop and stuff. So here, listen to it again. Compare it to, it's a bit bright. It's bright. It has that one extra note that makes a huge difference. This video was made just to give you guys a bit of understanding on how chords are made up, how they're named, and as a challenge, I would encourage you to take any chord shape you know and try to figure out what notes make up that chord. So take up a major chord, play it, and then try to figure out what notes make up that chord. When I started playing, like I only tried to remember shapes, and that meant every time I forgot something, I had to go rewatch a video and figure out, okay, what's that shape, but I didn't have an understanding of it. So I think understanding like triads, the basic major chord, and then understanding what notes are in that scale can really help you to learn a lot faster. Since I spent some time learning some theory and understanding like this concept, I've drastically improved in playing. I can play with more variation, I can keep things interesting, and you always keep learning new chords. But then when you learn a new chord, you're not memorizing the shape, and you're not like, oh, that was on the 3rd fret or the 4th fret. You actually just know, okay, it was a, I don't know, like a C/G chord, and then you know, okay, so C major is that, and then /G means the G was on the lowest register, and then you figure out, okay, that the G is somewhere around here, like, you know, like there, and then you can figure your way around remembering the chords by understanding and not by memorization purely. So that's the video for today, guys. Leave a like if this helped you at all. I hope it did. This understanding basic concepts of chord structure and formation really helped me. Eventually, the goal will be to make more videos like this for different chords, and we'll see where it goes. So thanks for watching again. Please leave a like and subscribe if this was helpful to you, and share if you want to. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.